Hello students, today I am going to continue with the same chapter that we began in our last class, that is the 100 Dresses written by Elizor Esther. And in this chapter we read about a quiet and shy girl named Wanda Petronsky, who is a Polish immigrant and who had come to America with her family. And she is the main protagonist of the story, and the whole story revolves around her. And this chapter, I told you, has been named as the 100 Dresses just because she always boasted of, or she always told everyone that she had 100 dresses in her closet. So the story begins with when she was admitted in the school, and she attended school with American children who found her name to be strange and probably the weirdest in the class. And this is because all the American students, they had easier names like Edith, Smith, etc. And this girl, Wanda Petronsky, is a poor girl, and she was always seen wearing a faded blue dress. And we had read that her classmates always teased her because she claimed to have 100 dresses and all lined up in her closet. But she was always seen wearing only one or the same dress every day. That is a blue colored dress, and that too unironed. So, and the students who mainly teased her were the two best friends named Peggy and Maddie, among which Peggy was the most famous girl in school, while anyone barely knew Wanda. And Peggy was a very beautiful girl was the most beautiful girl in the class, having curly hair and many dresses. On the contrary, her best friend Maddie was a poor girl, and she also wore the clothes, that is hand-me-down clothes, that is the clothes given out or rejected by the other people. So, and we had read that Peggy and Maddie, they used to wait for Wanda before school, even if it meant getting late. And Maddie, as I told you, is also a poor girl. She is a poor girl herself, and she did not like when Peggy made fun of Wanda, and she feared that she could be the next one. So she wanted Peggy to stop making fun of Wanda, but she could not gather courage to face her, as she feared that she would lose her best friend. Then, however, Peggy's intention was never to hurt Wanda, but she was curious as to why Wanda had to lie that she had 100 dresses in her closet, though everyone could see that she does not have, as she was always seen wearing the same blue colored dress every day, though it was clean but it was unironed, and the same dress she used to wear every day. So now we'll read next what happens on page number 67, the third paragraph, which says that today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad she had not had to make fun of Wanda. She worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. 8 times 8, let's see. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note, because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right out to Peggy to say, "Hey Peg, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has." When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy, and suddenly she paused and shuddered. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings so no one in room 13 would recognize it. So in these lines, it is said that Now, Wanda, she didn't come that day, and after having waited for her so long, Maddie and Peggy got late for school, and Maddie was secretly happy that they could not get a chance to make fun of Wanda, and she was lost in her own thoughts and couldn't study properly. And all this time, she kept thinking about writing a note to Peggy telling her to stop making fun of Wanda, which she did right after finishing arithmetic work. And she wanted to write a note because she knew that she did not have the guts or the courage to say it on her best friend's face. Then what happened? Suddenly she paused and shuddered. Shuddered here means shake or tremble. And she pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. And Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on. And Maddie would have to say it was one of Peggy's old ones, and Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings, so no one in room 13 would recognize it. So the word here disguise means to give a different appearance, to conceal its identity. So in these lines it is said that while writing the note to Peggy, Maddie shook at the imagination of her being a new target for Peggy and the girls. And she was afraid that they would ask where she got that dress from, and which she knew was actually Peggy's dress, which Peggy's mother had given her, and Maddie's mother got it transformed with new laces and ribbons so that none of her classmates could identify it. Then further, the next paragraph says, if only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. Oh well, Maddie ran her hand through her short blonde hair as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away. What difference did it make? Slowly, Maddie tore into bits the note she had started. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought. So, in these lines, it is said that Maddie wished Peggy stopped having fun with Wanda on her own, and suddenly she ran her hand through her hair, and as a gesture, it was a gesture to drive away all those thoughts that were coming to her mind, and she said to herself, Peggy is the most liked girl in the whole class or in the room number 13, and her best friend, and so she couldn't be wrong. And she felt that Peggy could never be wrong, and thus she tore the note that she had written and threw it away. And she was also afraid of losing her friend Peggy. Then further, the next paragraph says, as for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Boggins Heights and stood alone in the schoolyard. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dresses, pale blue with colored trimmings, and she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red sash. You'd look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. So, in these lines, first see to the hard words. The first hard word scarcely means hardly. Second word trimmings means decorations. Sash is a long strip or loop of cloth worn over one shoulder or round the waist. Pretended means which is not genuine, just to show off. Admiration means respect and warm approval. So in these lines it is said that after Maddie had cleared her thoughts about confessing to Peggy, she started thinking about Wanda. She thought that Wanda was just another girl living in Boggins Heights who hardly spoke to anybody, and she remembers When Wanda talked about her pale blue dress and jungle green dress paired with a red sash, the girls made fun of her by saying that she would rather look like a Christmas tree in that dress. So the next paragraph says, thinking about Wanda and her dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. For girls, this contest consisted of designing dresses, and for boys, of designing motorboats. Probably Peggy would win the girls' medal. Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room. At least that's what everybody thought. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's head so that you could almost tell who it was. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners. Then they would know. So, in these lines, it is said that while talking about Wanda, Maddie began thinking about the drawing contest in which the boys had to design the motorboats and girls had to design dresses. And Peggy was the obvious winner of that competition because she was the best artist in the room and she could copy exact pictures and recognizable portraits. And she was sure that Peggy would win, and results were to be announced the next day when everyone would know what's what. So the next line says, the next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street. The street that far away under the railroad tracks and up the hill led to Boggins Heights. Anyway, they weren't taking chance on being late today because today was important. So here in these lines, the word drizzling means rain slightly, hurried means quick. So in these lines, it is said that the day when the results were to be announced, it was raining lightly, and thus the two best friends ran quickly to school without waiting for Wanda. Generally, they used to wait for her at the Oliver Street that led to Boggins Heights, the place where Wanda lived, but they didn't wait that day. Even if it wasn't raining that day, they would have waited for her because the day was crucial. So they wouldn't have waited, though it was, even if it was raining, so they wouldn't have waited for her because it was a very important day, very crucial day, as the results were to be announced. The results of the drawing competition were to be announced that day. So the next line says, now, do you think Miss Mason will announce the winners today? Asked Peggy. Oh, I hope so, the minute we get in, said Maddie. Of course, you'll win, Peg. Hope so, said Peggy eagerly. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. Gasp means to take a deep breath. There were drawings all over the room, on every ledge and windowsill. Dazzling colors and brilliant, lavish designs, all drawn on great sheets of wrapping paper. There must have been 100 of them, all lined up. These must be the drawings for the contest. They were. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. So in these lines, first let's see to the hard words. Gasp means to catch one's breath with an open mouth owing to pain or astonishment. And ledge means shelf. Windowsill is the ledge or sill forming the bottom part of a window. Dazzling means extremely impressive or beautiful or skillful. And lavish means gorgeous. Murmured means to speak something softly in a very low tone. And admiringly is in a way that shows respect or warm approval. So in this line, it is said that when the best friends entered the classroom, Peggy asked Maddie if Miss Mason would announce the results or not, to which Maddie said yes. And Maddie told her that she believed Peggy would win, but to their utmost surprise, what happened when they entered the classroom? There were drawings all over the room, and all were very bright and brilliant drawings. And they left everyone in surprise, in awe. And these were the drawings for the contest. Then further, the next line says, as soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Beggles had won for the boys, she said, and his design for an outboard motor was on exhibition in room 12, along with the sketches by all the other boys. So in these lines, the word assembled means gathered together in one place for a common purpose. So in these lines, the narrator says that Miss Mason, she announced the winners after everyone had settled. And amongst the boys, Jack Beggles had won. He drew an outboard motor which was displayed in room number 12 along with the drawings made by other boys. Then further, the next paragraph says, as for the girls, she said, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most, one girl and room 13 should be proud of her. And this one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawings is worthy of winning the prize. I am very happy to say that Wanda Petronsky is the winner of the girls' medal. So now in these lines it is said that the teacher, she then talked about girls' submissions, and she mentioned that there was one such girl who had submitted 100 designs, and each design was so beautiful that the judges felt that any one out of them was worthy of the gold medal, that all the drawings were beautiful and any of the drawings was worthy of the gold medal. So Miss Mason very proudly announced the name of the girl, and it was Wanda, and she said that Wanda was the winner of the competition. Then the next paragraph says, unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. And let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. The children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, put their fingers in the mouth and whistle, though they were not interested in dresses. Look, Peg, whispered Maddie. There's that blue one which she told us about. Isn't it beautiful? Yes, said Peggy. And here's that green one, boy. And I thought I could draw. So in these lines it is said that she continued and sadly mentioned that Wanda has not been coming since days, hoping she would be there the next day. Then the teacher instructed everyone to look at the flawless collection, to which everyone applauded and whistled. Maddie and Peggy even saw the blue dress that Wanda had talked about, and it was beautiful. Peggy sighed. I thought I could draw, which means that the drawings left her in immense admiration. So this is all in the chapter. So now we are going to discuss the oral comprehension check on page number 67. The very first question says, in what way was Wanda different from the other children? So for this you can write, Wanda was a quiet and shy girl who had no friends, and she had the weirdest name in her class, which differentiated her from everyone else. Next question, did Wanda have 100 dresses? Why do you think she said she did? So for this you can write that no, Wanda did not actually have 100 dresses. She only had drawings of them, and she was a poor girl who would have desired to have a closet full of 100 dresses and all lined up. That is why she said that she did have them. Then the next question, why is Maddie embarrassed by the questions Peggy asked Wanda? Is she also like Wanda, or is she different? So for this you can write that Maddie is embarrassed by how Peggy deals with Wanda. Not because she cares about Wanda, but because she was poor herself and feared that one day they would treat her the same way. And Maddie is a poor girl, but not as poor as Wanda. And unlike Wanda, she had a lot of friends. Then further, the next question of the oral comprehension check on the very last page, that is page number 70. And the question is, why didn't Maddie ask Peggy to stop teasing Wanda? What was she afraid of? So you can write for this that Maddie did not ask Peggy to stop teasing Wanda because as she was too poor, she feared that she could be the next target for the girls. And as Maddie wore hands-down clothes given by Peggy, she was afraid that if they did not tease Wanda, then probably they would start teasing her. The next question is, who did Maddie think would win the drawing contest and why? For this you can say that Maddie thought that her best friend Peggy would win the drawing contest because she was the best artist in the room or in the class. Next question is, who won the drawing contest and what had the winner drawn? So you can very well write that Wanda had won the drawing contest and she had flawlessly drawn 100 different kinds of dresses. Now look further to the other questions. The other questions are, how is Wanda seen as different by the other girls and how do you treat her? So for this you can write that other girls saw Wanda as a poor and vulnerable girl and she had a strange name. She did not make friends and remained quiet. She sat in the corner with the rough and noisy boys. Wanda always wore the same dress and came from a place full of mud on the roads. And the other girls treated her badly and belittled her or always abused her. They made fun of Wanda. Then the next question is, how does Wanda feel about the dresses game and why does she say that she has 100 dresses? So for this you can write that Wanda felt embarrassed and insulted when other girls played the dresses game on her. She claimed to have 100 dresses in order to put those insults and jokes away. Actually, she was preparing drawings of 100 dresses for the drawing competition and she referred to them when the girls asked her that how many dresses did she have. Then the next question, why does Maddie stand by and not do anything? How is she different from Peggy? Was Peggy's friendship important to Maddie? Why? Which lines in the text tell you this? So for this you can write that Maddie stands quietly and watches as Peggy humiliates Wanda because she felt that Peggy was high and mighty. She was a rich girl and a very beautiful girl in the whole class. Thus Peggy could never be wrong. And as Maddie was poor herself, she feared that she could be the next target for the girls to mock at. And also Maddie did not tease Wanda while Peggy did. Yes, Peggy's friendship was important to Maddie and the lines which indicate this are, which is written that Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. Maddie was her closest friend. Then the next question, What does Miss Mason think of Wanda's drawing? And what do the children think of them? How do you know? So, here for this you can write that Miss Mason thought of Wanda's drawings to be wonderful. And she even said that judges liked it so much and thought any one of them to be worthy of winning. And the children too were awestruck. They were surprised at the sight of such beautiful paintings, and it is evident from the fact that boys who had no interest in dresses were whistling, and Peggy, who thought of herself to be the best artist, accepted that Wanda's drawings were amazing. Now, the other exercises, let's see to the other exercises. The first, it is the grammar exercises. Combine the following to make sentences like those above. So this is the bus. What kind of bus? It goes to Agra. Use which or that. So how will you write it? How will you join this? This is the bus which goes to Agra. Then the second one, I would like to buy shirt. Which shirt? Then shirt is in the shop window, and you have to combine it using which or that. So you will write like, I would like to buy the shirt that is in the shop window. Next, you must break your fast at a particular time. When you see the moon in the sky, you have to use when to combine the sentence. So for this you will write, you must break your fast at a particular time when you see the moon in the sky. Next, find a word. What kind of word? It begins with the letter Z and use which or that. So for this you will write, find a word that begins with the letter Z. Then the next, now find a person. What kind of person? His or her name begins with the letter Z. So for this you will write, now find a person whose name begins with the letter Z. Next, then go to a place. What place? There are no people whose name begins with Z in that place, and you have to use where to join. So for this you can write, then go to a place where there are no people whose name begins with Z. Then further, the next exercise, here are two other sentences from the story. Can you say those point of view the italicized words express? So the first is, but on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with the other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. So here the italicized words are, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud. So for this, the italicized word express the point of view of Peggy and Maddie. Then the next one, Wanda Petronsky, most of the children in the room 13 didn't have names like that, and they had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith or Alan. So the italicized words are 13 did not, most of the children in room 13 didn't have names like that. So the italicized words express the point of view of the narrator. Then the next question, you have to fill in the blanks. The other such adverbs are apparently, evidently, surprisingly, possibly, hopefully, incredibly, luckily. Use these words appropriately in the blanks in the sentences below. And you may use a word more than once, and more than one more word may be appropriate for a given blank. So I am directly telling you the answers. Dash, he finished his work on time. Surprisingly, he finished his work on time. Next is dash, it will not rain on the day of the match. Hopefully it will not rain on the day of the match. Next is dash, he had seen stealing money from his employer. So here in the blank, evidently will come. Evidently he had been stealing money from his employer. Then fourth, television is dash to blame for the increase in violence in society. So possibly will come in the blank. Television is possibly to blame for the increase in violence in society. Next, the children will dash learn from their mistakes. So how will you write? The children will hopefully. So hopefully will come in the blank. The children will hopefully learn from their mistakes. Next, I can't dash lend you that much money. So in blank possibly will come. I can't possibly lend you that much money. Next, the thief dash had been watching the house for many days. So you will write the thief apparently had been watching the house for many days. Next, the thief dash escaped by bribing the jailer. So you will write the thief possibly escaped by bribing the jailer. Ninth, dash no one had suggested this before. So surprisingly will come in the blank. Surprisingly no one had suggested this before. 10th one, the water was dash hot. So the word that will come in the blank is incredibly. The water was incredibly hot. So this is all for today. I hope you all have understood it. Thank you.